Hello friends, I am Kevin and in this video I will show you how to implement skeleton loader. So you might have seen skeleton loader on many of the renowned websites. Today we will see how to implement skeleton loader. So without spending more time, let's dive into the implementation. So first of all, let me give you a brief overview of what skeleton loader is. So in simplest terms, a skeleton loader is an animated placeholder for the content that is still loading. It mimics the structure and the look of the entire view. It gives user an idea of what kind of content is loading, like image, text, long text, and so on. So as you can see, these are the examples of the skeleton screen on Facebook and Zomato currently. So if you want to know more about the skeleton loader, its overview, purpose, usage and design, you can visit my blog whose link I have given in the description section. So we will design skeleton loader step by steps, and these are the steps involved: design a background, design a gradient, animate gradient, show loader only for empty placeholders, and real-time implementation. So let's start with the first step, which is to design a background. So just to give you an idea that after completion our background will look something like this. So over here I am using StackBlitz as I am comfortable using it. You can use editor of your choice. So here I have created one sample HTML5 project. So this is its index HTML, this is the style sheet which is style CSS, and this is script.js. So all three files are yet still empty. So let me design my container first. So here I have kept two division. Within that I'll keep span tag for loading my content, and to the span I'll give one class, say skeleton loader. So now I have to apply styles to this container. So I will create one class, give it display block. I will give it a width of say 100%. Let's take height as 20 pixel, and as we have to design a background, so we will give background as light gray. So as you are seeing on the screen that this is our background. So that's it in the first step. Now next step is to design a gradient. So let me give you an idea about how gradient will look like. So this is how our gradient will look like. So let's start designing. Okay, so let me remove these light gray background for now. Okay, so as we see that we want gradient horizontally from left to right. So we will use CSS linear gradient property and design our gradient from left to right. So let me write that way: linear gradient towards right. After that I am specifying 3 color drops. And we can specify opacity as well. So let me keep it as 50%. And let me give the opacity over here as 8%. Fine. And after comma, let me specify light gray background. So as you are seeing that this is our light gray background, and over that background we are seeing a gradient, but that gradient is spreading all over the container. So let's give it a specific size using the background size property. So now as you see that we have given the appropriate size to our gradient, but it is repeating all over the container. So it is repeating over the x-axis. So we have to set the background repeat property for that, and let's say we'll repeat it over y-axis. So this is how it will look like, right? So you can design this gradient as per your requirement. And yeah, one more thing. So this is how background property works, that it will apply the light gray background to your container, and over that background it will apply this linear gradient. So yes, you can find more in detail about the linear gradient and the background property from the MDN source. So yeah, we have designed our gradient. Next we have to animate gradient. For that we will use CSS animation property and keyframe rules. So let's do that. So we want our gradient to move from left to right horizontally over x-axis. So for that let first specify the background position as 0 0. Now we will define our keyframes rule. Let's name it as wave. And over here we will specify the background position as we want to move it on x-axis horizontally. So we will specify it this way. Then let's use the CSS animation property and give our animation. So as you are seeing that our gradient is now animating, it is moving from left to right. So this is how you can make use of background position property, keyframe rules and animation for animating your gradient. Next we have to show this loader only for the empty placeholders where the content has not been loaded yet. So for that we will use CSS empty selector. So CSS empty selector matches elements that has no children. It means it matches elements that has no child elements or text nodes. So let's try that. So we will specify empty selector over here. So it won't make any effect as of now, because we are not loading any content into our container, into our span tag. So let's do that. So just for demo purpose I am loading the content after some seconds, let's say 3 seconds. So let me put set timeout. So I'm specifying the time interval as 3000 milliseconds, so it will be 3 seconds. Then I'll select the element as by using document get element by ID. So we have not given this ID to our span tag, so let's do that first. Fine. Then after 3 seconds we will load some text. Okay. So as you have seen that after 3 seconds this skeleton loader got stopped and our text gets loaded. So this is how you can make use of empty selector, and you can show the loader only for the empty placeholders. So let's try it one more time. Yeah, so using empty placeholder you can achieve this, and you can get the details of the empty placeholder on the Mozilla network, so you can check these over there. So last step is real-time usage. So in real-time usage we will see how we can use our designed skeleton loader in the real-time application or in the real-time implementation. So for that I have designed one demo project in which I am fetching the data from the live API, and over there we will see how we can integrate our skeleton loader. So let's try that. Okay, so this is the dummy implementation I have created. So this is the HTML markup. This is the JavaScript which fetch the data from the live API, and it will assign those data to the appropriate placeholders. Then this is the loader CSS. This file contains the CSS related to our skeleton loader, and this is style CSS. This file contains CSS related to this product tile. Fine, so I have included all the required files into my index HTML. Okay, so if we see, currently we are not seeing any skeleton loader, and it is taking some time to fetch the data as the data is coming from the live API. Okay, so we will integrate our skeleton loader into this implementation. So in loader CSS, as we have designed our skeleton loader and the class name is skeleton loader, so let's apply this class to the appropriate placeholders so that it will show the skeleton loader. Okay, so this is for the product image, this placeholder is for the product name, and this is for the product description. Okay, so now we are seeing that it is showing the skeleton loader. So as you see, it will display the skeleton loader until the content is loading, and it will replace the loader with the content once it is loaded. So this is how we can design skeleton loader and implement in real-time application. You can get the blog link and the GitHub repo link for this implementation in the description below. So that's all about skeleton loader. And friends, do let me know in comments about what implementation or what topics you want me to cover in future videos. I will definitely do that. And if you enjoyed this video, do like and subscribe for similar content. And thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.